Hello students, good morning to all. Today we will be discussing about the propositional logic that is in the last unit of your discrete mathematics. In the previous lecture of DBMS, we have studied the views in SQL. I hope you all have understood it well. For any queries, please free to contact me. Feel free to contact me. So let's go through with the propositional logic. Let us understand what we mean by propositional logic. Before we learn the logic, let's talk about proposition. What is a proposition? Basically, proposition is a simple statement. A statement whose answer can be given in either a true or as false. There is no third option. So in a proposition, if you'll say that it is true or false only. For example, let's say it is raining. So we have only two options for this. Yes, it is raining, or no, it is not raining. There will be no third option. So any such simple statement is known as a proposition. So let's go through with the lectures. Let's go through with the notes and continue the lecture. Uh, Here are the examples I have given. 3 plus 3 equals 6. Okay, this has to be true and there is no other option. 3 plus 3 equals 7, and this is, we all know this is false, and we do not have any other option for this. So both of these are propositions. Let's consider some more examples. For example, do you speak Hindi? Okay, so this can have different answers. uh, yes, no, maybe, a little bit, but it do not have two declarative answers, either true or false. So this is not a proposition. Another example, close the door. Basically, this is a comment. So this is not also a proposition. 4 minus x is equal to 8. Obviously, this is assignment. This is expression. And it cannot have true or false values. Now, what a hot day! Exclamation. Okay, as you can see, this is just the exclamation, and it does not have either of the two answers, true or false. So none of the above are propositions. So the propositions are of two types. A simple proposition that do not contain any other proposition as part, that means a single statement. For example, it is raining. And on the other hand, a compound proposition. A compound proposition is one with two or more simple propositions as part. For example, it is raining and wind is blowing. So we can see there are two propositions. P1, it is raining, and P2, wind is blowing. To join these two, P1 and P2, we have used and, which is a connective. Yes, another term, connective. So let's study about connectives. Connectives are very important. So once we need to connect more than one propositions together, let's say two propositions, to connect these two propositions, we will need connectives. So let's go through with the connectives. Let's study the types of connectives. There are 5 types of connectives. We'll start with the one, disjunction, which is also known as or. So when one of the two arguments is true or both are true, then it is called as a disjunction. It is symbolized by P plus Q, and we have the symbol also, disjunction, a V. It can also be written as P or Q or P and Q both. So for example, it is raining or wind is blowing. Excuse me. Conjunction. This is basically and logical operation. Uh, Whenever both the arguments are true. In this case, both the propositions have to be true. Conjunction. For example, it is raining and wind is blowing. The third connective is not. Basically, it can also be considered as an operator, and it is used whenever we have to represent that the statement is false. That is also can be considered as negation. For example, it is not raining. The fourth connective is conditional, also known as implication.
whenever if one argument is true, then the other argument is also true. Basically implies, when one argument implies the other argument. For example, if it is raining, then the wind is blowing. And the last connective is biconditional, which is also known as equivalence. Either both the arguments are true or both the arguments are false. That is biconditional equivalence. For example, if and only if it is raining, then wind is blowing. So this is biconditional, where both the propositions have to be true. The two important terms, assertion, which can be defined as a true simple proposition. It is raining, it is true, it is an assertion. Negation can be defined as false simple proposition. It is not raining, that is negation.
In the end, we had studied two important topics, assertions and negations. So, very simple, assertion, whenever any proposition is true, then it is known as assertion, simple proposition. We are not talking about compound proposition. And on the other hand, any proposition, if it is false, then we'll say it is a negation. So remember today's lecture. I hope you have understood the concepts, and for any queries, please comment and feel free to ask your questions. Thank you so much.